In this video I'm going to show you how to use Statcrunch to answer the questions in the project. Once you log into statcrunch.com and then click on the link that I put on the project, you will see this data set. So this is the actual data set that you're going to see. Men's salaries, you can see there's quite a bit of data there. Women's salaries, shoe size and height. The first question I'm asking you is to find the mean and standard deviation of a data set. So here's how you do it. You just go to Stat, Summary Statistics, Columns. And if I'm asking you, let's say, to find, just man's salaries, mean and standard deviation, just select that. Now you want only the mean and the standard deviation. Just hold the Control, mean, and then the standard deviation. And here you go, compute. And here you go, you got the answer. What you can do here, you can select the whole thing, copy and paste to your Word document, or you can do it from here, copy. Now if you don't want to finish the project at once and you want to come back later to it, you can do this, save, and then what you have done will be saved online. So this is how you find the mean and the standard deviation. Now the next question, I think I'm asking you to do some graphs for me. For example, a box and whisker plot right here. And let's say we're doing it for man's salary. If you want to do it for both together, you just hit the Control and then click women's salaries, and then that should be selected. You don't worry about where in group by, and then let's say compute. And here you go. You can see, and then options, copy, and then paste. If you save it, it will be saved online. I'm going to show you later how to come back to it. See, we're viewing it now. That's it. I can copy it from here as well. So I'm going to go back to Statcrunch. Oh, let me just go to my data set. My data, and it's right there. So I went back to my data set. The second graph I'm asking you to do is a histogram. Let's say we're doing one for men's. Now, don't worry about where in group by. Type is frequency or relative frequency. Or start at, let's say I'm asking you to say start at 10,000. And the width, this is the class width. Let's say I'm saying it's 10,000 as well. And then compute. And here you go. This is your histogram. If I save it, it will be saved for good here. Okay. We're not going to view it now. And then I'm going to close this one. Under graph, I'm asking you to do also a QQ plot. Let's say for men's salaries. Okay, I'm going to compute and explain that to you. Okay, here you go. If the dots, the points are very close to align to this oblique line, you can make a conclusion that your data was derived from a normal population or from a normal distribution. As you can see, this is very much the case. I'm asking you to write down if the points are very close to the line, then the data comes from a normal population. So as you can see, guys, I'm showing you how to work with your data, but you're gonna go back and do it yourself. Let's see what else. Later I'm asking you to run some statistical tests, confidence intervals. So let me show you how to do that. Confidence intervals, you go to T-stats. Let's say I'm asking you to do a confidence intervals for the women's salaries or men's salaries. So you go one sample with data, because we have the data here. And let's say we're doing the men's salaries. Okay, let me show you where it says confidence interval right here. Whatever the level is, let's say I want to do 92. I'm asking you to do something different here and just compute. And here's your lower limit and upper limit. This is the lower value of the interval, and this is the upper value right here, which is 69216. Again, options, say copy and then paste. Now let me show you how to run a hypothesis test for one population, one mean, one sample. You go to stat, again it's set stats, one sample with data. Let's say we want to test if the man's salaries are more than 50,000, for example. So here is what you do, perform right here, you put 50,000 in here. And now more than, you have to choose the alternative right there, and then you run the test. Okay, this is what you get. This is the test statistics, this is number 2 value, and this is the p-value. He's telling us that the p-value is very small. If it is very small, then we can reject the null hypothesis. You would have to list the 5 steps. This is the first step right here. This is step number 2, it's the t-stats. And p-value is the third step. Your fourth step is to say whether you reject or fail to reject HO, and then write your conclusion. You need to type all of this. Now let me show you how to use the Statcrunch to do a hypothesis test comparing two means. You go to data, stats, t-stats, now two sample, as you can see, with data. Select column, let's say the man's salaries, select column 2, the women's salaries, and let's say we're doing a test to see if the man's salaries and women's salaries are different. Well, I'm asking you to check if mu1 minus mu1 is bigger than mu2, so we choose bigger than, but I'm just going to show you the different from and how that would work. And then you just compute, and here you go. This is second step, the test statistic. This is the p-value. Once you put the p-value is less than some very small number, then you can assume that the p-value is less than alpha because it's very small, and you reject HO. Okay. Later in the final questions, I'm asking you to do a scatter plot. So a scatter plot will be right here. X variable is the shoe size, Y variable is the height. We're trying to check if there is a relationship between the two, and just hit compute, and here you go. As you can see, there looks like maybe there is a linear relationship between shoe size and height. As shoe size increases, maybe as height increase, or vice versa. So this is how you do this one, and this is a quick review of Statcrunch.